Hello friends, my name is Prajwal and in this video I'll tell you everything that you need to know to get placed in Infosys. We'll discuss about the latest pattern of Infosys and discuss about the kind of questions that can be asked in your interview as well as in the online test round. So let's get started. So my name is Prajwal Sinha. I'm an entrepreneur and a computer science engineer. When I was in college, I got placed in TCS, Cognizant, and Tech Mahindra. Apart from that, a lot of other small companies as well. Then, as an off-campus drive, I cleared McAfee and then stayed there, and it was acquired by Intel, so I became part of Intel. I have close to 10 years of experience, and I have taken 500 plus interviews, over 500 interviews in my whole career of freshers as well as experienced people. So I know what you need to learn and how you have to crack an interview process, right? What skills you need, what kind of questions are asked in different interviews. So let's get started. Before that, I'd just like to tell you that we have just recently created a social network similar to Facebook, which is called Amigos, but it is exclusively for students, college students. So just check that out. I'll provide the link in the description of this video. So let's start with the hiring plans of Infosys. Infosys has declared that they are going to hire 20,000 freshers by the end of 2020. Now, the package that they offer is 3.5 lakhs per annum, and this is something that they had offered in 2019. In 2020, they have mentioned that they may increase the salary to 4.5 lakhs, and the link to that particular news is mentioned here. I'll share this link in the description of this video also. So this is a good news. After almost 10 years, service-based companies have started increasing their joining package for freshers. Again, due to COVID-19, I do not really know how, what will happen and whether they will stick to that and that statement or not. But let's see how. It's a good news. At least by the end of next year, you'll have this package. So let's see about Infosys. Now, this is a very important slide, and point. Remember these points clearly, and make sure that you remember these points right before your interview. Right, go through these points when you are called for interview, because a lot of times they ask you that what do you know about the particular company, about Infosys, right? So Infosys was established on 2nd of July 1981 in Pune, not Bangalore, but then it moved to Bangalore in 1983. So this is an important point. It was started by Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, N.S. Raghavan, S. Gopalakrishnan, S.D. Shibulal, K. Dinesh, and Ashok Arora. So these were the seven people who started Infosys were at the beginning, and some of the key persons. One key person that you need to remember is that everybody remembers Narayan Murthy, so that's okay. But you have to also remember that who is the current CEO of Infosys, which is Salil Parekh. This might get asked in your HR interview. So remember this. Current revenue is $13 billion, and the number of employees is 2,42,371. It's a ballpoint number. Which was released about 2-3 months ago. So just remember this slide. Now let's go ahead and discuss about the selection process of Infosys. Now, Infosys has an online test round, online aptitude test round as a first process. Then they go for a technical round. Then there's an HR round, and once you clear all these, your offer letter gets sent to your email ID within 15 days of your selection. After that, you go through a background verification and police verification. Or they just check whether you have whatever whatever details you have provided in your resume, as well as address and everything. Verification is done. So they just check whether that you do not have any criminal background, and they also verify your marks and everything. So make sure that everything is correct. So after that, they just basically have their own training program, which is of close to 6 months, and sometimes they also onboard you as an intern right before you finish your engineering degree. So they call you for an internship also, which is counted as a training phase. So that basically saves a lot of time. And you'll the moment you clear your you complete your education, you can onboard them and you can join them as a full-time employee. So your salary is a little better after that. So let's go ahead and discuss about the eligibility criteria. All the engineering branches are allowed: BTech, ME, MTech, MSc, MCA. These are allowed. People from all engineering backgrounds are allowed. If you are from MSc, you have to be related to a computer science and degree, right? Computer science stream. The criteria is a little different from others because in 10th there's a relaxation of 60%. So you have to have more than 60% in your 10th and 12th. And in your current degree, which is BTech or MCA or MSc, you have to have more than 65%. And the BCA, if you have done BCA, I believe that it should be 60%. Again, this is not very specific. They have not mentioned it clearly. So let's see. Backlog criteria does not allow any backlogs in your career. So people, if at the time of the interview, right? So when you appear for the exam, you should not have any backlogs. BCS allows this, but Infosys does not. Gap criteria, you should not have a gap of more than 2 years in your career after your 12th or any other any education between this. You have to, either after BCA or before after class 12th, you should not have more than 2 years of gap. Also, there's another criteria which says that if you have appeared for any interview of Infosys in the last 9 months, you are not allowed in the current round, right? In the current drive. So this is again done through verification. A lot of students, act smart and they try they change their email ID and apply from different email IDs. You can do, but if you get caught, I don't really know what happens, but feel free to try. So at the end, it is all about getting a job. So try everything. Right? Exam pattern. The exam pattern, the online test pattern is that they have around 10 questions in quantitative aptitude. Logical reasoning section has 15 questions and English has 40 questions. In case of quantitative aptitude, you get 10 questions, but you are given 25 minutes. So 2.5 minutes for every question, which is little high, which means that the level of questions would be difficult, right? So in both of these, quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning, expect a higher difficulty level of the questions, because in logical reasoning also 15 questions and 35 marks are there. Puzzles and all those things can get a little complex, so be prepared. Infosys generally has a little tougher questions. Now, English section has 40 questions and 35 minutes. It means that the questions will not be very difficult, but it has 40 questions. You can clearly get an idea that Infosys focuses a lot more on communication skills, apart, besides aptitude. So for them, your communication skill is very important. So 40 questions, 35 minutes. Kind of questions will be discussed in the next few slides. But just to give you an idea, because a lot of people do not watch the whole video. So just to give you an idea that fill in the blanks, antonymous and synonymous questions can be asked. Find an error, right? All those kind of questions can get asked. There's no negative marking, which is a good thing, but you have to score more than 70% in each of the sections. So this is again very different, and you have to focus on accuracy. It is not just about solving things fast, because they are giving enough time of for each and every question. For them, it matters a lot more that you are whatever you do it perfectly. So this is a culture that they have, that will be important also. Quantitative aptitude or topics, the kind of topics that are asked in the first section are percentages, profit and loss, permutation combination, probability, speed, time and distance, boats and streams, time and work, data interpretation, mixtures and allegations. Now these are the topics which are commonly asked in almost all the recruitment drives of all the companies. So you have to prepare this very well, and don't think about a specific company while preparing for these for your aptitude, because uh, these topics are not as relevant as your overall knowledge and skill of aptitude. So focus. Start with a book by R.S. Agarwal, Quantitative Aptitude book by R.S. Agarwal. That's a very decent book. That's the book that I referred in the beginning, and it should hardly take you 10-15 days to finish that book. After that, you will be able to clear this round easily. Higher difficulty kind of questions, you can refer the book by Arun Sharma, CAT. So quantitative aptitude by for CAT by Arun Sharma is something. Solve the LOD one of that, so that should give you enough practice. Then the logical reasoning section has script arithmetic, which is very new. None of the other companies have that. So the kind of questions would be A plus BB plus CC is equal to ABC. So you have to derive the values, the numerical values of each of these, alphabet. So A plus B plus C is equal to C. It means that either A plus B is equal to 0, or A plus B should be equal to 10, and in that case the value of C would be 0. and then you have to proceed. So I believe that this is how you have to solve these questions. A lot of these things will be discussed in detail in upcoming videos of ours. So just subscribe to the channel, and you'll get a lot of good technical as well as aptitude tutorials here in the upcoming few months. Cryptarithmetic, arrangement, syllogism, coding and decoding, number series, clocks, and calendars. These are the topics that you can study all of these from this book that I have mentioned here, Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning by again R.S. Agrawal. One of the finest books because there are a lot of questions, there are a lot of examples there that you can practice from. So buy this book. This is something that I highly recommend. It's a thick book, it's a heavy book, but then you don't have to study the whole book. You just have to refer the topics that are mentioned for specific things. There are a lot of others also, blood relation, all those kind of questions can also get asked to prepare for. Prepare for all. Do not focus on the topics. Prepare for the whole subject. Focus on that. Let's go ahead and check the English topics: reading comprehension, sentence correction, sentence completion, para jumbles, analogy, and fill in the blanks. Focus on reading comprehension because if you solve one question, you'll get if you read one passage properly, you should be able to get 4 5 questions correct. So focus on that. Other questions are generally easy. Practice needs practice. This needs a lot of practice. Study as much as possible. Practice from there are a few practice tests on Amigos also, section wise, topic wise. To prepare from that, again there are mock tests for Infosys also, again free of cost. We don't charge at this point of time, but there are a lot of good questions based on last year 2019 exams. Study from that, practice as much as you can. Technical interview. Then comes the technical interview. After you clear your online test, either if it is an on-campus procedure, then you'll have the interview on the same day. If not, probably the next day or within 2 days. So it's a face-to-face interview round. Nowadays, it can be online. We don't know, right? But I believe that this is going to be an online event this time. Theory and program can be asked. Theory, C, C++, OOPS, DS, DBMS, OS, software engineering. But you should remember that this is Infosys does not ask a lot of technical questions. They don't go in depth. They focus on your communication skills. If you are good in communication, you should be able to clear this. Basic questions like OOPS concepts like inheritance, polymorphism, constructors, destructors, all these things can be asked. In C, C++, what are storage classes, what are different storage classes, arrays, pointers, basic questions can be asked, not a lot of difficult questions. In DS, linked list probably, searching sorting algorithms can also be asked. DBMS, yes, this is something that a lot of students get asked, which is to create a table with foreign key and constraints like on delete, cascade, on delete, set null. So these are basic things. Again, very simple things that you need to study. Um, if you are asked to write programs, then selection sort, bubble sort, insertion sort, linear search, binary search, Fibonacci series, factorial, recursion, then prime number to check whether a number is prime or not. So these are very small questions to exchange two variables without using a third variable. These kind of small questions, simple questions can get asked. Prepare yourself very well. It's all about preparation. It's not about learning a lot of stuff. You don't have that much of time for to prepare, but you can easily crack Infosys if you prepare well. It needs about 2 to 3 months of preparation, and that's all that you need to clear any interview, any campus drive or off campus drive. You just have to be serious, right? If you prepare well, there's no way that you won't be able to clear these exams. Let's go ahead and check the HR interview round. Tell me about yourself is a very standard question, all asked in almost what in every HR interview, right? It starts with this question. So prepare well. Start with your personal details. Your name, where you are from, which college you have studied from, what marks did you have, what were the extracurricular activities that you were involved in, what are your favorite subjects, if you have done any good projects, mention those stuff. So these are the very common things that get asked. That they expect from you, achievements and everything. If there's something to highlight, you can mention that. So this question is asked in HR technical interviews as well sometimes. So make sure that technical interview also starts with this. So this is very important. This is very important. Then they might ask you about Infosys. So these two questions that I mentioned basically are same. What do you know about Infosys, or why do you want to join Infosys? Now, these two questions are very standard, and you have to tell them about Infosys. So, in the first few slides, I told you about, I mentioned everything about Infosys, right? That you have to mention here in this particular question, and tell them that it is one of the best companies to work for because it started as a in a small 2 BHK flat, and these 6 7 people grew this into one of the largest companies in the world, right? So it's an inspiration for all of us. For me personally, it's an inspiration because when you see other companies, they had a lot of backing. If you look at TCS, it had Tata Group, but then Infosys did not have anybody. It started from the scratch and then it became an empire. So that's something very interesting. Now, what will you do if you get a job in TCS or any other company? Will you leave? Will you join Infosys or will you join the other company? Few points. First is that always say that you're going to join Infosys because you are in this interview, so you have to say somehow, and you have to back that up with some logic. First thing is that they will probably have a higher package, so you can mention that. Also, you can tell them that Infosys is a huge brand. The way they have grown is impressive. Tell all the details. Mention that we have a senior or a friend who works in Infosys, and they are very happy. They have told about the great the great training program that Infosys has. These are the believable answers for this. Don't say that even if I get a higher package, I won't join. Right? I won't join that company. I'll come and join Infosys. Don't mention those things. It all depends on how the interviewer is. So make sure that at the end you focus that you want to join Infosys. If you get placed in any of the service-based company, you choose Infosys. Obviously, in dream companies, things can get different. So let's see. Okay. So the next question is, why should we hire you? Play on your strength. Do not deviate a lot. Do not say anything negative about anybody else. Or yeah, in the previous question also, do not say anything negative about any other company. Don't do overall your HR interview should never be negative in any aspect. So never say anything bad about anybody, any company, your college, anyone, right? So that's very important. Why should we hire you? Focus on your strength. Focus on the things like you are a hardworking person. You work smartly. You plan things. You do things on time, and you are sincere, right? And you have interest and you have good communication skills. All these things can be mentioned, and that will help you. HR interview is generally easy to crack. They check your attitude. One very important thing that they judge is that how good are you as a person, which is reflected in the way you tell about yourself. So you can either be humble or you can sound arrogant. So don't sound arrogant; they will not hire you. They have got 1 lakh plus people waiting to join Infosys. So make sure that you don't oversell yourself. You don't boast anything, right? So just be humble. Mention that you are eager to join Infosys and smile throughout the interview if possible, right? Even if you are tense, you have to focus on that. Be confident. Infosys has a lot of people. There's at least 70 to 80% chance of you getting selected if you don't, mess up anywhere. So if you don't mess up, there's a 90-95% chance of selection. Only if you are not able to, either talk properly or you can't answer any of these questions properly. Only then they won't select you. If they believe in you and they like you, they will select you. So okay then. So we'll just go ahead and discuss shortly about the study plan that I have created that I use myself. Right. So first, get the book R.S. Agrawal's Quantitative Aptitude book. Study it for 20 days, more than enough. You can finish it in 10 days also. Get the reasoning book by R.S. Agrawal, 10 days, more than enough. Focus on the topics that we have mentioned here. Let us see book, technical stuffs. Even if you are a non-technical person, buy the Let Us See book by Yashwant Kanitkar. Study it properly. Then buy the book Let Us See Plus Plus by Yashwant Kanitkar. Study it properly in for the next 15 days. Focus on one subject at a time. Do not switch between subjects. That will help you a lot. So get the book Data Structures by Yashwant Kanitkar. There's another book by S.K. Srivastav also. You can buy that book also. Both of them are good books. OSDBMS Software Engineering. You can refer online. You can Google online and then find out some of the common interview questions. Don't go and study from the books. It's not very important because Infosys at least does not ask. If you want to learn for better companies, bigger companies, product-based companies, then you need to study the other subjects also. Versus mock tests, free mock tests are available on Amigos. Practice, practice, practice as much as you can. It is important. Getting comfortable with the format is also very important, so that will help you. This is all about speed. Any service based company interview or selection process is all about your speed, at least the online round, the test round. So next, for interview preparation, keep watching this video series. We have discussed about a lot of different companies, about different questions that can be asked in an HR interview, how to crack any technical interview, how to crack any HR interview. All those things are, we have got videos on all those. So subscribe to the channel and get notified for any video that we come up with. So at the end, I'll just tell you and inform you about Amigos, which is a student social network. You get internships, which is very important nowadays. Events, scholarships, competitions, all on one platform. You don't have to scavenge and search a lot of places. Then you also have placement mock test, high studies mock test. All those things are mentioned are present there free of cost. You just need some coins for that, which can be received by creating posts and receiving likes on the platform. So every time you contribute on the platform, you get likes, and each like will give you some coins. So you can use that to buy stuff on the platform. So thanks a lot. Just download the application. I'll share the link below. Also, if you have any suggestions or you need any video, if you need me to create any video on any topic, just suggest below and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks a lot for watching. All the best.